So this will be recorded, as I said. So we will be recording this as we go, and I will post this on the YouTube channel just in case anybody couldn't get in. First and foremost, welcome everyone. I decided to take a little bit time off of my Saturday just to sit here and talk to you guys and try to help you guys out a little bit with my charts, because I know I get a lot of questions about my charting. What is this? What is that? You know, how do you put this? So I'm going to start with a blank canvas. With this blank canvas, we're going to add on to it. I'm going to explain little by little and until I show you guys exactly what I'm looking at when I usually go live. That way you guys can sit there and see, or you know, basically be able to follow exactly what I'm doing when I go live, or when I tell you guys to go long or short. You guys are gonna start seeing and observing what I'm looking at, so that way together we can have an understanding as to when to get in and when to get out, why we're getting in, why we're getting out, and so on and so forth. Now usually this is the kind of stuff that I share during a mentorship, but obviously I told you guys I'm gonna do this for free for you guys just because I love you guys and I want to be able to get you guys on the right track and be able to all trade almost the same when we make plays. So without further notice, let us get started. Okay, so hopefully while you guys are watching this, you can kind of pull everything out and, you know, on your TradingView and be able to follow along on this. Okay, and let's hope we can get enough people in here to watch. And like I said, if anybody couldn't make it, I'm glad you're in here watching it now after this live. So here we go. First of all, cheers. It is Saturday. I need my Coke Zero. Alright. So, first of all, here are the dotted lines. So these dotted lines, some of you don't know, some of you might know these things, so bear with the people that don't know. These blue lines are breaks of the day. So each dotted blue line that you see here is a start of a new trading day. So I usually put this in here because from what you guys usually look at, it's probably in extended hours, and you guys kind of see like what happens after hours, what happens pre-market, and quite frankly that messes up everything that has to do with the EMAs, the SMIs, or everything else that we put into work basically. So things don't work the same way with pre-market and after hours, and that's what we have futures for. Futures is what we play with, you know, during the after hours and during, you know, late night hours, pre-market hours. A lot of people do futures like NQ, ES, gold, you know, XAU, basically all of these things that they play with during after hours and pre-markets. So we don't want to incorporate that when we're looking at stocks that we're playing on a daily basis and on swing trades. Okay. Anyone else having problem hearing? Mike Wild says he has problem hearing. Anybody else having a problem? I don't want to continue if anybody's having an issue. Everyone good? Just make sure your volume is up on YouTube and on your computer. My volume is pretty much up. Is that better, actually? I might have had it a little bit lower than usual. Alright. Dang, I did all that talking and now you guys tell me something? Don't worry, don't be shy, let me know. I want to make sure you guys all get a good understanding of it. Okay, perfect. Alright, so what like as I said, I usually turn that off. I put on regular trading because on regular trading it does not affect the EMAs and MAs or anything that we're looking at, such as the 4 hour, 5 minute hour, the 200 MA, the 50 MA. All of these things are just going to affect your regular trading or your swing trades or your long-term trades. You don't want to be looking at pre-market and after hours, because the market, even if SPY goes to new highs during pre-market or after hours, you need to understand that it is not accounted for in the regular market. They don't account for that as being a new high in the market. They only account for it in regular trading hours. So what does it matter to us if we get that? The only way it matters to us is if we're actually playing it with NQ, MNQ, ES, XAU, whatever it is. So if we're sitting there playing the after hours with futures and pre-market futures, then it obviously is going to matter to us in a way. But for the market as an entirety, it doesn't matter. It does not accumulate or account for any of the numbers that happen during pre-market or after hour markets. So I hope you kind of understand a little bit as to why that is. So anyways, now that we have our daily breaks, which are these lines, we are on the 15-minute chart right now. So I'm basing this off of the 15-minute chart. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go to the indicators, and the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add the SMI, so the Stochastic Momentum Index. So we're gonna add that to our chart. We're gonna get this momentum index right down here. Now this is basically the oversold and the overbought of the market. You know, as you can see here, you know, when it goes down low, it's overbought. When it's all the way up here, it's when it goes down here, it's oversold, and over here, it's overbought. So when we're looking at these things, it's basically oversold, overbought, so it drops, and when it's oversold, it starts moving up. And that's one of the indicators that help you out. Would you not recommend futures during regular hours? Of course I recommend it. 100% recommend it. That's 100%. Yeah, I mean we play futures while we're trading. I mean I send out some, when I say long and shorts, those are basically the same thing for options. So the SMI retests basically is whenever it surpasses the zero line, which is this middle line here. Whenever it surpasses this, then that means we're going further down. Same way when we surpass it on the way up, then we're going further up. As you can see on the candlesticks, it's moving up. Okay, so our main thing that we look for SMI is for a clear continuation of downside and a clear continuation of the upside. As you can see here, because we had a gap, so it didn't really pass the zero, it actually pushed back down because we had a gap here on the SMI. So that's one way to look at something that's not going to continue to break out. Now as soon as it bounced down under the 50 levels, then that's when we started seeing it pushing back up. Now as we're pushing back up, we see a candle right here, so we got about, this would be considered a two down, another two down, and a wick with a two up candle. But we'll get to that further as we go. Okay, so that's the first thing I add is the SMI. So make sure you add that to your chart, and we'll get into it a little bit further as we put in everything together. Now the next thing I like to use is the VIX, so which is called Vortex. So the Vortex indicator right here is basically another indication that works together perfectly along with the SMI, with all of my strategy that we speak about all the time. It's very, very complex. So it's not really going to be something that you want to follow mostly until you further on later in the future start understanding what it's doing. So basically the vortex, what it does is as soon as the red line, which is the volume on the bottom, is going to cross over the blue line, that means we're going to continue to fall down. Okay, so as you can see here, as soon as it crossed, this is right around this area, we continue to go down. The further these two lines are away from each other, that means the further we are out from getting a reversal. The further they go up, that means the closer we are getting close to a reversal. Okay, now this does not mean that as soon as it gets to here that we're like, oh, okay, we're gonna reverse it. No, it doesn't necessarily mean that, because as you can see here, it kind of crossed each other twice. So it crossed under and above each other. So it's basically on our sideways movement. So on this certain day, we were moving sideways because it crossed each other so many times. Aside from that big gap that we had in the morning, which is that big cross that we had here, when it's moving up and down from each other the way it is right here, that only means there's uncertainty, there's a lot of choppiness on the day, and the market just wants to move sideways. But as soon as we get big movements like this, like as you can see here, it's completely bullish, the blue is above, and it tried to cross each other, but it bounced off each other and moved up, and this is clearly a big push up. When you get a clear drop here, as the blue and the red drop, then you get a nice push from 566 to 563.40, around that area. So you get a nice $2 drop. Anywhere from $1 to $5 drop can happen with the vortex. But if you're looking at this area, yeah, the vortex crossed each other, but still the SMI is too oversold, right? So which is why it made that little nice push back up. But the next day, it obviously had a gap, and that has to do a lot more with manipulation rather than how a chart should work out. So if we kind of roll back and kind of see over here that we had a nice cross on the vortex, we see that the SMI also tried to break under the zero line, but it reversed. So when it reversed and we had the blue cross the red line, okay, as soon as this happened, the blue line crossed, then we're going to kind of start thinking, okay, there's a reversal coming. So it tried to go back and cross each other, and then it pushed further up. As soon as that pushed further up, the SMI was pushing further up as well. So the vortex and the SMI work coincidentally, so that way, if they're both working together, that means it's a sure play. If they're not working together, they're like working opposite of each other, then we don't want to jump into any conclusions and hop in. Okay, so that's why a lot of traders, when they say be patient, is because we're waiting for everything to work together. That means we're not sitting there thinking, maybe the SMI is going to work, even though the vortex is saying something else. Let's just go with it. That's called lottery. That's called just playing, playing this play as a just throw it out there and just try to see if it works. Throw it out there and see if it sticks, kind of thing. Okay, that's what we're really looking at. Okay. When it doesn't retest, what happens? Not sure what you mean it doesn't retest. That's what I said. So if it doesn't retest here, if we don't get this, or if we only go halfway up as it did here, and it's not continuing to move up, then obviously there's not going to be a retest till a little bit later on. But almost every time, it's going to try to continue to make it up to the next level. For uptrend, yes, it should be far from each other. Okay, so now that we got these two in here, okay, the next thing we're going to add, okay, is the Strat Assistant. So I talk about this all the time. This is this is my favorite thing by Ricky Z. Carroll. These are the 212 candlesticks that we talk about. So you're gonna go into here. You're gonna search Strat Assistant. It's gonna be right here by Ricky Z. Carroll. This is the one that you're gonna add to it. Don't add any of these other ones. They're just gonna confuse you and make things worse. You can test them out later, but as of now, just stick to the regular Strat, and that should help you out more than enough. Okay, so the Strat Assistant, I do have a whole video explaining what the Strat Assistant is. This video right now, I'm just here live with you guys to explain how to create your chart to make it look just like mine. So I know you guys are trying to ask questions. Just I will get to them as soon as I can. And obviously, if it's a video that I've already made, I'm not gonna waste this video on it. You can obviously go and watch it. But basically, the Strat Assistant is a pack of different strategies, such as the 213 down, such as the 212 down, such as the 212 up to push up, and to a possibility of pushing up. There's here, as you can see, we have a 212 up candle, meaning that there's a 2 down candle. That means this candle is a bearish one. The next one was a 1 candle, and a 1 candle is the uncertainty. Okay, so it's indecisive candle, as we like to call it. So when it's indecisive, it means it didn't break out above or below the previous candle. Okay, so the next candle broke above the indecisive candle's area, which is around this area. So this next candle opened up here. This is the body. It pushed up to here. As soon as it broke over the 1 candle, that is considered a 212 up bullish candle. And as you can see, as soon as we got a 212 up candle, next candle became a 2, a 2, a 2, a 2, until we got around this area. It was still a pretty small hammer candle of a 2, and then we ended up getting 2 red candles, and then obviously started moving sideways. But as soon as we see 1 negative Strat candle, then we can just say, hey, let me take my profits here, or let me at least close the majority of it and hold a couple of runners, and then put my stop loss at break even, which is my favorite way of letting you guys know when we're getting out, why we're taking half over here, why we're taking 70% of our position out here. These are what I'm looking for, and as well as the SMI. So as you see here, everything works together, correct? We have a blue crossing here in the morning. We had a 212 up candle, right? Then we got all the way up to here, and we haven't oversold. Okay, so if the SMI is telling us oversold around this area, which we kind of got a bearish candle, very small bearish candle, but that should be enough for us not to be greedy. That should be enough for us to say, all right, here it is. That's 1 candle that I don't like. I'm out. I'm done with this play. Good to go. Have a good day. I just made my money. We're good to go. Okay, so there it is. That's one way of everything working together, which is my favorite thing when it happens. That's why sometimes you guys see me get frustrated, because I'm like, everything looks so good, but why is it going down? Well, that's called manipulation, because people know about many of these strategies, but when we put all of these strategies together, all of these indicators together into just one chart, then we're over here making sure that if everything is working together, then there's a 90% chance, I would say a 90% chance, that this is actually going to happen. Okay, so this is another great thing that we look for during stock market hours. Now the next thing that we add is the moving average, right? So we got the moving average here. Now what I like to do is, one of the EMAs is going to be my 8, which you guys see all the time. Okay, and then the next one that I like to add is the 34. So 34, I'm going to make it a yellow line. Okay. And there you go. Now we've just added the 8-day moving average and the 34-day moving average to our charts. So what are the 8 and 34-day moving average? So it's basically telling you around this price around 8 days ago is the average of where SPY was. And same thing with 34 days ago, this was the average of where it was. So when these two candles cross each other, meaning that the 8, which is the lower number, crosses above the 34, which is the higher number of days, this is considered bullish. Okay, so that's why when I tell you guys, it's very important to look for the 8 and the 34 EMA crossing. It's very important for this reason and for this reason alone, because it's basically stating that 8 days ago is crossing what happened 34 days ago. Does that make sense in a way? I hope that kind of makes sense to you guys. Obviously, it needs a lot more further instructions if you guys kind of don't understand that, but that is the main point of the 8 and the 34 cross. So as you can see, basically we had an 8 and the 34 cross. So here we are adding more things to our chart that can indicate and even more feel good about our position, right? If we're going along on this position, we're going along now, right? We're going along because we had the Vortex cross right around here, okay? Let me see if this is not showing. Okay, here we go. So we had a Vortex cross right around here, okay? That's one. I can possibly move my face away so that way you guys can see. I didn't even know I was in the way. Okay. So here we go. So now we have so many new possible connections through all of my indicators that are here on my chart, right? So we had the Vortex cross. We had the SMI cross over the 50, the 0 line of, of the chart. So as soon as this chart is moving over, the blue crossed over the orange, okay, we are pushing up. Okay, then we got over here to this area, we had an 8 and 34 cross. This is all happening at once. You're over here on the 15-minute chart, you're watching this live, okay, you're like, okay, now we had this happen. Then we had a 2 candle. Okay, what's gonna happen after this 2 candle? Oh shoot, we had a 1 candle. All right, a 1 candle came. It's still not way overbought. The Vortex is looking like it wants to open up more and go further away from each other. Okay, the blue and the red line are separating and moving further away from each other. And then we had a 2-1-2 up candle. This is perfect. This is the pure reason why we actually got this play when you guys saw me say go long and this is gonna like push. Okay, this is an exact play that we actually went through, and this is an exact play that we had that pushed up over 105%, if you guys remember a few days ago. So when this happened, it pushed up like I said, and it went all the way to to this area where there was a bad candle. Now we're in an oversold position on the SMI. So now we're like, okay, something is going on here, so let me get out. Okay? Can you show how to get the daily lines on there too? Yeah. So if you go to the settings and you have your sessions here, you're gonna go to regular trading or extended trading. You're gonna keep it on regular trading. And I believe to put the sessions, it's I believe canvas. I haven't done this in a while. I think it's trading. profit, instant orders, brackets and loss executions. Oh, events. Okay, so you're gonna go to events. Okay, in events you're gonna see over here it's something that says session breakouts, and you can change the color of it, whatever you want to change it to. You can change it, to a thicker line. That way you can kind of see it better. It's up to you. You can make it dotted. It's up to you what you want to do. But yeah, this is what I have it set to just originally, and that's how you set a session break. I also have latest news notifications, so that way if any news comes out on SPY, I actually get it right here on TradingView, just in case I'm missing out on news or I completely forgot to take a look at any events that are happening. It'll actually start coming out in notifications right around this area, and it'll start popping out, and I can actually just click it and watch it and read it. So it's pretty cool. It's to keep it on, but some people don't like it. I personally like it because I'm so busy and I get caught up with doing futures, crypto, stocks, options, running a Discord, answering questions all over all the other Discords that I'm in, and it's just like too many things going on. So I actually like that it pops up and gives me a notification. So that's how you set up your daily breaks. Okay, so also a daily break is also going to give you that daily high and low that I talk about every day. Okay, so what is the daily high and low? Basically it's the orb. Okay, so I like to call it high and low zone just because I like to create zones. It's basically the same thing. What we do here is we look at the first 15 minute, because this is the 15-minute indicator. The first 15-minute candle was right around this area high and then this area low. So what we do as we go on about our day, we're going to sit here and wait to see which way it breaks out. So as you can see here, now we have another thing that we look at in the morning play. So first we have the Vortex crossing, the SMI looking great, looking like it wants to push further up. It's way above the zero line. We had a 212 push. We had an 834 cross, and then the next thing that happened is it broke above the high zone, which is it broke above the first 15-minute candle, and here we go. We're on to the next one. The next candle moved and broke above the previous candle, and we are on a never-ending bullish push. Okay, because if you go back and look at the 5-minute chart on this one, what you're gonna see here is this is what you're gonna see, right? So if you look at the first 15, this is where we are, and this is where it pushes up. So let me see if we're on the same day. Yeah, so I'm in the wrong day. Hold on, sorry, I went to the wrong area. There we go. Okay, so if you can see here, the first 15-minute break, the next candle broke out, it pushed right back down, and then it kind of pushed back up. But we still had an 8 and 34 cross. Okay, so we still had that cross. We still have the same thing in the 5-minute chart. But that's why I tell you guys to focus on the 15-minute chart, only because it's very important to look at the 15-minute chart, because it makes more sense. I mean, I don't know how to explain it better than that, but it just makes so much more sense to get into the 15-minute candle than to be sitting there looking at anything else, basically. Okay, anything else is just not gonna make any sense to me, and I don't know. It's just my favorite thing to do. I feel like it's more clarity. 1 minute is too much. Way too quick. It's over and over. It's too many crossovers, too many things going on. 15-minute, I feel like is just that perfect area of like a sure play, right? I just feel like it's one of the best things to look at, because you don't want to sit there and second guess yourself. Okay, but this is my chart. This is what I have. The only other thing that you could add that I would say is the volume loss blocks, block orders. You can always add these to your chart. The very important reason why is because order blocks, it kind of shows you what was bullish and what was bearish around this area. So if you can see here, this 15-minute orb, it was 2.14 million, you know, bearishness. You know, a lot of people were very bearish around this area. So when we get to this area, it's a very, very, very high chance that it bounces off of it and goes back down. Now, not to say that I can't obviously keep pushing and break it, because obviously one way or another, it's gonna have to break that zone. But it's a very good possibility that it doesn't break it. So these are all that I use. This is nothing else that I use. All of these are actually in my indicator on Top Hat 2.0. So if you already have Top Hat indicator, you are gonna actually get this in the new 2.0 update, which should be coming very soon. And once you get it, you're gonna be able to get all of this included into it, other than the orb, other than the SMI, other than the Vortex. These are all, you know, you can add these if you like, because some people don't like to use stuff. I don't like to put on an indicator, so I don't want to put everything into one indicator if you don't like to use it, because it just makes it too messy. So you're gonna be able to get all of this. You're gonna be able to get trim zones and everything too on the Top Hat indicator. So you're gonna love it. And I've been using it. I've been practicing with it, and let me tell you, it's been phenomenal. As you can see here, this is it. I've been using it. This is how we got that XRP puts the shorts that I got yesterday. This is all based off of off of my indicator saying to sell. So as soon as it said sell, I actually got into a sell position. I seen the SMI being way too high. It just continued to go push lower and lower. The orb said, the order block said it's way more people sold in this area than bought, so it kept pushing down. This is why we were in those XRP plays that actually got us, I think, 110% at the end, which was a great play. So that's what it is, and that's what it looks like when I'm sitting here trading. As you can see, I removed the Vortex only because I feel like I have too much going on and I don't need it personally. I just like to put it on there when I show it to you guys, so that way you guys kind of have a better understanding. Now, we do have a a bull flag going on XRP, which is why I told you guys once we get to around this area of like 234, 235, which we are close to, we should get a nice push back up on XRP. So that's just a freebie for you guys if you're watching this just here on March 22nd on a Saturday. This is what we've basically put together from last night to get into a play using all of this strategy that on the charting that I just told you guys. So that's my chart. This is how it looks. Now the next thing that I want to show you, just like you see on the other chart, is basically adding the 3 zones. So why I like to have these 3 zones on is because I like to put the 4-hour here, I like to put the 15-minute here, I like to add the 5-minute over here. So these are the charts, and these are what I look at when I'm trading. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. So the best thing about having these areas is, let's say, let's not say, so yesterday the 4-hour chart closed around 564.79 high and about 561, right? 561.48. Okay, around the 561.48 area. Okay, so this is where it closed at. So this is basically telling you that come Monday, if we break above 564.79, okay, then we are bullish. If it breaks under 561.57, then we are going to be bearish. We are right now in a 2-2 up candle. So the next candle becomes a 2 up, means it broke above, and that means we're going to continue up. If the next candle becomes a 1 candle, which is an indecisive candle, which it didn't break Friday highs, then that means, you know, we're still here in between this area. Now, if it does give you one big candle and break under 561.54, then we are going to continue to become bearish and continue to go further and further down. Okay, and this is why I like to have the 4-hour open while trading. Even if I'm day trading, I like to see what's happening in the future, just because it kind of gives me an idea of where it's going. Now, yeah, we did have this major gap on Friday when I told you guys that we should see a rally, but it didn't happen till the end of the day. Okay, this is manipulation. Unfortunately, as a day trader, I can, you know, try as much as I can to read things and try to give you guys as much good plays like I did in February. I told you guys there's going to be a market correction in March, and obviously from 611 SPY we went all the way down to around 550 here in March, which was the correction that I was talking about. That's a full on what, 50 60 $61 down on SPY since I gave you guys that prediction. So yeah, it was a prediction for it to go over 570, okay, but the rally didn't come till the end of the day, which kind of gives me a nice hope that hopefully we don't get some kind of big drop in the market. So come Monday, if we do break out, and we're going to be bullish. If it breaks under, then we're going to be bearish. And these are the zones we look at, and this is how we create our watch list. This is what we prep for, and this is, you know, going over here and looking through all of the stocks. So, you know, you sit here and you look through all of them. You know, you open Apple. All right, where's Apple? Where was Apple at the end of the day, right? I mean, that's not Apple. That's American Airlines. So same thing. You can sit here and you can set up a zone for this one too. You can be like, all right. So the lowest it got on Friday, you know, is around this area, and 1141 high. So 1122 low, 1141 high. Come Monday, you know, or if this is tomorrow or whatever it is, come the next trading day, we're going to be sitting here looking for it to break above or below this area to get a clear idea as where the, you know, where the stock wants to go. And you can do that through all of these. You can go through all of your favorite stocks that you like to trade, you know, including Tesla. You can sit here and look at Tesla is in a 2122 up candle on the 4-hour. So it kind of makes you say, okay, well, it's looking good, and this is the ADMA and this is the 34. It's looking like we're gonna get across. SMI is pushing, and so on and so forth. So same thing, you know. I mean, since I'm gonna be doing this anyways tomorrow, let me set it up anyways for my favorite stocks. So here's Tesla. Once again, we're gonna set the high and the low. So Tesla highs, you're looking at 249.49. If it breaks above that, we're gonna be bullish. 244.35 is the low. So if it breaks below that, then we are going to be bearish on the stock. So that's another reason, as I said, why I have these 3 time frames done: the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 4-hour. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. Do you wait for the candle close to identify what the candle is? Yes, you have to wait. So whatever time frame you are in, you have to wait for that time, for that candle to close. So that's why sometimes you guys see me here, you know, blurting out saying, guys, we're 5 minutes out. 5 minutes out means there's 5 more minutes on this 15-minute candle. Okay, so that means I'm saying there's about 5 minutes left on this 15-minute candle to close for me to be assured that, hey, this is going to be a 2-up candle, or if it's going to remain an indecisive candle. Okay, so yes, you must wait till it closes out. And the same thing goes with the 8 and the 34 cross. So if the 8 and the 34 cross each other, let's say on the 15-minute, let's say they cross right here. If it crosses here, but then kind of pushes back down, that's an unclear cross. So that means it's not really a clear cross for that specific um, 834 crossing. Okay, hope that makes sense. We always want to wait on whatever time frame we're looking at for it to completely break out or completely finish the candle formation. Okay, when does it? Okay, we got that. Can you show how to get the daily lines? I got that, guys. Is the paid trading view chart? I think you can get up to three charts. So I would say Strat Assistant, the 8 and 34 cross is one indicator on its own, and just put the SMI. I think those three alone should be free for you. But if you're gonna be day trading, if you're trying to do this as like a professional trader, then I would definitely say at least go to the next level up just to get a couple more things in there. You know what I mean? For the goal, thank you for this. It's very helpful. You got it, boss. Are you looking at only the last 4 hours of the last day for zone? Yeah, so basically every day there's, obviously about 8 hours in the market. So there's always, as you can see here in the breaks of the days, yeah, there's always just 2 candles. So we're always looking at just what the final candle did. Okay, we're not looking at the whole day. We're just looking at what the final candle did, which is the previous candle. Because all we really care about is what the next candle is going to do, which is working out with the Strat Assistant. So as you can see here, for instance, okay, if we look over here, we had a 2-1 candle, right? So if the next candle was a 2 down candle, then we would say that this day is going to be bearish. But since we got a 2-1-2 up candle, okay, which you can, like I said, read into that in the Strat Assistant ebook. This is right when you see this push above the previous candle, which is now a 2-1-2 up candle, then that would make it a bullish candle. So this is why we only look at the previous candle. We don't care about the candle before that. We only care about the last 4 hours that happened on the 4-hour chart. So when we're sitting here looking at any chart, and I'm talking about any chart, we're literally going to be sitting there and looking for these zones. So like I said, you can sit here and open almost anything. You can go to Microsoft, okay? You can sit here and open Microsoft and look at, okay, what happened in the last 4 hours, right? So Microsoft has a big candle. So we're if we don't break above this, then we got a long way for us to get back to a bearish momentum. So 384.38 and 391.50, that's a good $5 to $6 gap, right? So I don't think it would want to do that. I mean, I don't see why anybody would sell, especially when we got an 8 and 34 cross happening almost in every single stock. If you go through all of them, and you have this chart that that I just help you build, then you're gonna kind of start seeing that. You're gonna start seeing that in almost all of the especially the the softwares and the technology tech stocks. Basically, you're gonna be seeing it. You're gonna be seeing all of them kind of getting to that point of changing into a bullish momentum, because we've been in a very big drop, and this is the first time that the 8 and the 34 are looking to cross each other, which is why I said, okay, we're looking like we're going to start pushing back up again, and hopefully getting into a nice rally back up. But like I said, news is always effective. That's why we always got to watch the news. None of this matters when it comes to news. None of this matters if there's a war. None of this matters if whoever the president of the United States is. It's all depends on what the politics are, what's going on around the world. Okay, so always keep that in mind. All right. So the top hat indicator actually gives you an alert. So it actually sits there and gives you a buy and sell. So as you can see here, you would have a buy short term, sell short term, buy short term. As you can see, XRP just entered a buy short term on the 5 minute, and look how far it went up. So this is what it helps you with. So over here you had a buy short term, right? Let's say, and this is on 1 minute, and then it turned into a buy long term, which means it's more continuation bull. As soon as we got this trim long, it means we're cutting this position, and look what happened, it dropped. So it helps you very, very much with this. And as you can see here on the 4-hour, we had a buy short term at 230 for XRP, and it flew all the way to 259. So you can tell that this indicator really helps you if you don't understand everything, all the blah blahs that I was talking about today. This will easily just take my whole strategy and just put it into one indicator and start telling you, whoa, hey, get in now, because we had an 834 cross here, we had a 50 and a 200 MA cross here, we had, you know, a 212 up or a 212 down happen right around this area. That's what we're telling you to trim. So it's basically everything that I'm teaching you and everything that I was just talking to you guys about or make videos about is basically all put into one indicator, which you don't have to do any work. So I mean, hopefully that would kind of help you out. And I know a lot of people that have been using this for crypto futures, even forex. You know, a lot of people made bank off XAU using this. The other day I told you guys go long, and that shit went boom, flew up. So it's like you guys have to sit there and watch all these, and it works with a lot of things. Now, what is my favorite thing to work with? Futures and options. I feel like it works the best with those, just because it's not too much manipulation as crypto is. Because crypto, anybody can just say, hey, yo, sell it, and nothing matters on the chart. Okay. Yeah, that's the 2.0. That's why I'm giving you guys, which is the same. Buy EMA is buy short, and you know, buy MA is buy long. But I just made it a little bit easier for the people to understand. And this one actually gives you trims, and it actually, you know, works off of the Strat assistant as well. So I kind of put that all into one. So if you have it already, make sure you keep it, because the price of it is gonna go up in the coming week. So the price is gonna almost double just because we've added so much more into it. It costs a lot of money to do this, so I've really been working on it I've been testing it for the last 2 to 3 weeks. So you're gonna love it. So if you already have it, you're gonna get the 2.0, no problem. Just gonna be a part of you. So don't worry about that. Yeah, it's just gonna pop up, just like you see here. Okay, but remember, when these pop up, so let's say this buy short term came up. If this buy short term came up and this candle has not closed yet, then don't get into it yet, because you need to wait for this candle to close. Okay, so you need to make sure that, you know, this candle could go up and come back down around this area, you know, and then once it closes, then you're gonna be certain that you should get into a play, because you don't want to just hop in. Because same here, this sell short term, even though it comes out, it can go away, because the 8 and the 34 can cross each other and then recross each other, and then that will disappear. But as long as that candle closes, then that sticks around. That's it. It cannot go away. It's just gonna stick there because it closed this whole candle with the 834 cross back down, if that makes sense. So whatever time frame you're looking at, you need to make sure that candle closes before you hop into a play. Okay, and like I said, when you're getting into a play, you're accommodating all these things. So when you're seeing a sell short term, then you're seeing a really high oversold SMI, right? You're seeing the 8 and the 34 cross, right? You're seeing a 212 on the Strat assistant. Everything works out. Everything looks good. This is what I saw on XRP, and I took the shorts. So once again, that's how all of these things come together, and that's how all these things work together. So 2.0 is not out yet. So hopefully soon. But if you get the actual indicator, you can DM me if you want. It's up to you, but basically, I can send it. I think. Let me see. 1 second. Yeah, here it is. Okay. If you want to get it, this is the link. Like I said, if you get it now, you're gonna get very cheap because it's gonna double in price. It's gonna go up to, I believe, $19.99 or $22.99. Not sure which one yet, but that's what it's gonna go to. But yeah, those are my charts. So I hope you like it, and I hope you enjoyed seeing my the strategy and my charting put together. And that is about it. I will take a couple more questions if you got them. Other than that, if it's a question that has to do with a couple of videos that I've already made, please just go watch them. I don't want to go over it here so that people can sit here and watch this and be able to to not go over the same kind of stuff over again. You can just DM me, Alex. This is that's my Discord username, so just DM me and we can talk from there. Anyways, that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch it. You're gonna be able to watch this again if you missed anything. Don't worry, this is all being recorded, so you can sit there and rewatch it, or rewind and forward to see what you missed and be able to go over it again. Thank you guys for coming in. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I appreciate you guys coming on here. All 149 people. Not bad for a Saturday. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully the rest will be able to watch this. God bless.